Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. What?
I have my drink in my hand.
Okay, to the Friends You Can Keep podcast. We were not here last week, obviously, because
Literally.
though I had literally we were not here where we currently are sitting, but we were also not here as a show, because while I had all intentions of recording with my cousin and his wife again, and my other cousin, that did not happen. Through no one's fault, it just didn't happen. But we're back. We were once again in Walt Disney World. We were there for a week. We were at my cousin's house for
2 days.
2 days, yeah.
We were gone for 10.
We were gone for 10 total, yes.
It's a long time.
It was a long time.
I mean, not bad long, but
No.
once you get home, you realize how long it was.
Well, and we drove, which is about roughly a 15-hour drive.
If you don't stop.
From here to, if it's nonstop, from here to Disney World is a 15-hour drive. We stopped in South Carolina and then went to Florida the next day. And then on the way home, we stopped in South Carolina and came home the next day. But, it was a long drive. Realized when we got back that we had laundry from before we left, laundry from the entire time we were there.
It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, it was a lot. But I had fun.
Yeah, I had fun.
I had a good time. We rode, so new for us, because they're not really brand new rides.
Well, they're the newest, though.
They're the newest, but they're not really brand new they're brand new for us. I don't know how long they've actually been there.
Neither one of them were open last time we were there.
No, 2 years ago they were not there. But I think it's been a year.
For Guardians, definitely, but maybe not Tron.
But yeah, we rode Tron Light Cycle Run and Cosmic Rewind. I think Cosmic Rewind might be my favorite ride.
I think it's the worst ride I've ever been
in
on.
Walt Disney World.
Not the ride's fault, though. There's nothing wrong with the ride. I hated it.
Yeah.
But there's nothing. It's not to say it's a bad ride. It's not. I just did not like it.
Well, you couldn't handle it. Was the issue.
It was too fast and too spinny and
the
much.
kind of person and constitution that you have is not. It's not for that ride.
No.
But me personally, I think it might be my favorite ride.
I would try it again because I did not get sick. That was what I was worried about, and I did not feel sick.
Yeah.
I just still hated it, though. I did like Tron.
I like Tron a lot. Tron was... And it was funny because I went in, and maybe it was one of those things of, like... To use the example of, like, Uncut Gems was super hyped, and we went into it and came out of the theater, like, didn't care for that. I mean, It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was not near as good as everyone made it out to be. I don't know if because my mom... While simultaneously saying how much she liked it, she kept saying, like, oh, it's too fast. It's like Rock and Roller Coaster. It's such a fast ride, and it's so short that, like, I would never wait this long for it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We rode it, and I'm like, it was fast, and it was a short ride, but it maybe because of that, it didn't feel near as short to me.
Yeah, it was longer.
As I was expecting it to be. It felt like it was longer than Rock and Roller Coaster, which I don't know.
It's not. It's not. It's like their shortest ride.
It's
like less than 2 minutes.
Do we know that factually?
Yeah.
I'll look it up while we banter here.
It's super short. But now, I think I liked it and didn't mind if it was long or short because I didn't wait in the line that you waited in.
Length of Tron ride at Disney World. The intense portion of the ride is about 1 minute long. From the time you start moving until you get off, it's about 2 minutes.
Yeah. I think it's their shortest
length of Rock and Roller Coaster, which was closed this time around for refurbishment, 1 minute and 22 seconds.
Whoa.
The pre-show segment of this attraction lasts about 2 minutes. The duration of the actual coaster is about 1.5.
Wow.
I thought so. That's their shortest ride.
Maybe Rock and Roller Coaster feels a little bit longer because of, like, it's all the twists and turns. Like, Tron doesn't do much. Like,
no.
I remember getting off thinking, like, I enjoyed that ride, but
I liked it a lot.
it was just a speedy train ride.
And what absolutely... Well...
There was, like, some...
Well, you have to think, too, it is a carbon copy. A 100% copy and paste of the ride in Japan.
Okay.
But I think that's kind of the point. Like, they're not looking for...
Thrill. I mean, it's
They're looking
cool.
for thrill rides, but I don't think they're looking for as much pomp and circumstance as we are in America. It's the same reason why... And I said it when we were in line. It's not necessarily only for fat people. Like, they didn't take into consideration that Americans as a whole, weight, height, everything, are larger than Asian people. So when you brought that ride to America, and it was just the motorcycles, fat people, tall people, they're all like, I don't fit in this fucking thing.
Well,
so then they had to add the car in the back. And don't get me started on that bullshit, because my cousin has to ride in the car in the back.
for height. It's more for height than anything.
For height. But my complaint is, they don't have that car on every single group of trains.
Well, it's so that...
So you get out of line after you've already waited for 2 hours, and then, go stand along that wall until the next car comes up. The wall that you're standing along, there's a door there for employees. We had to keep moving people.
How long did you have to wait?
For a car?
Yeah.
Probably at least another 5 minutes, if not longer than that.
Oh,
because we also got fucked, because the group behind us, I forget what it was, but they sent the group, like, long after us did they get to the wall. They sent them first. Oh, there was a miscalculation of numbers. So they got sent before you. We're very sorry about that, but you'll be on the next one.
Oh, so then you had to wait again.
So they fucked up and miscounted, which doesn't make sense to me. Number one, you have 2 sides that have cars. If you're at the wall. So if you come down the ramp, they either send you to the left or to the right.
Oh,
both sides have groups of bikes. Either this side should all have the car, the back seat, and this side's all motorcycles, or every single one of them should just always have the back seat. There's no reason you should get to the end of that line and they go, oh, you have to wait here.
Well, the point is...
Because it's like every other group has it.
Yeah, because they don't... I heard them say to someone, like, go in here, you will... There will be a light cycle for you. So, because they must have sent them in, like, the back one, and I don't know if someone said, like, oh, we don't need the special car.
Well, I think they'll fill it.
No.
Yeah, I think it doesn't...
They won't force you to sit there. So, like, if I'm in line, and that's the only seat available, they won't make me sit there.
That's dumb. I mean, I get it, but...
You could choose to sit there.
Like I said, what they should do is... So if you're looking at the ramp, because I'm now picturing it from I'm standing along the wall where you have to wait. This entire side should be the group of bikes with the seat on the back.
How many people are using the seat? Like, not many?
I think a lot, because there was quite a few people waiting. There was at least 2 groups waiting ahead of us, then at least 2 or 3 groups behind us that were waiting.
Yeah, so then it should be.
There's a lot of people that use it. And that's my point of, like...
I think I might have needed it.
And what's even dumber to me
short.
is, so we get up there, it's me, my mom, Connor, Bob, Deb, and was Lexi with us? Mm-hmm. And Lexi. So 6 people, all standing along that wall waiting. And what blows my mind is, I understand that not every group has the back seat. But you're like, oh, 6, go stand along that wall. And then you're just watching, like... 3 people, 4 people, 3 people, 4 people, 2 people, 4 people, 8 people, like, how in the world? And that's what happens in, oh, this group had to go ahead of you because we miscalculated. Of course you did. Because you sent a group of 8 along the wall, and then you're just continuing, like, yep, you go over here, you go over here, you go over here. Like, you're not taking into consideration the people standing behind you.
Yeah.
Which is why this whole side should be the motorcycles with the thing on the back. Or you should have one entire section of things that's just those seats.
Yeah, but that
Something. You need to figure something out, because that was a fucking disaster. Like, there's not a lot of shit I give Disney for a lot of, like, ride things. That was a clusterfuck. That was the dumbest thing I think I've ever done on a Disney ride.
No, the Dumbo thing is their worst.
Well, it's not... The Dumbo thing is very stupid, but I understand the point of it.
Yeah, it was made by someone who doesn't have kids.
Well, the point of the playground is when you're there waiting 2 hours to ride fucking Dumbo.
But you're not.
That you can just go in the playground and you're not standing in line, you're doing whatever. When we got in the playground, we waited quite a while.
10 minutes, if that. Because Tony was barely playing, and then our buzzer went off. And I'm like, why did you dump us in here?
I don't know. They just do it so you're not standing in line.
But then, like, give me the opportunity to not go in there. Because now we're in here. You think my kid's going to want to leave?
I get it. It's still not as dumb as what we had to do for Tron. What we had to do for Tron was very stupid.
Yeah, we didn't. Because we had the lightning lane, we just walked right in.
Well, what was worse was, and it's one of those things of just like, people don't think, and it bothers me when people don't think. And they don't listen to this, so I don't give a shit. But, like, we're standing there, and Connor's like, I don't know why they didn't let the rest of you go. Because you were in the front of the line, and they said, how many in your party? And you said 6. If you wanted the rest of us to go, you should have said 1, and I need the big seat. And they would have let the other 5 of us get on the next set of bikes.
Yeah, but then he would have been standing there, and you would have had to wait for him anyway.
I'm not saying he would have had to, because that was he was pissed about that. So when you're in line, they make all the announcements about your shit has to go in lockers.
Yeah.
Well, they also tell you your shit has to go in lockers, but your hat, your glasses, whatever, there's a little compartment in the front of the bike. They can go in there. We get to the front of the thing. Bob and Deb and Lexi are putting their shit in a locker. Connor has his hat and I think his fanny pack, and that's it. And the lady's like, you have to put that in a locker. And, like, points to his fanny pack. And he's like, well, I thought they said there's a thing on the car. And they're like, no, sorry, you have to put it in the locker. He's like, all right, well, I don't have a band. Oh, well, your ticket whatever you used to get in the park should work. Well, I think he was using his phone. Was not working. So
why didn't you just put it in with everyone else's?
So then my mom, because we walked ahead. They stopped immediately and put it in a locker. We just kept going because he didn't think he had to. He was going to put it in the compartment on the bike. Oh. So my mom had to use her band to get him a locker. He unlocks it, puts his fanny pack in there, turns around. The lady's like, oh, you have to put your hat in there too. And he's like, are you kidding me? And then she's like, well, I just don't want them to tell you when you get down there that you can't. That you have to come back up here and put it in a locker. So then they had to go back. Yeah, I mean, the locker was right there.
We put all of our stuff in when we went in, just because.
Well, it's one of those things of, like, they're there for that purpose. But I understood his complaint of, like, why does the video say there's a compartment on the bike
I think
for, like, your glasses? I'm pretty sure in the video it says, like, for your hat, for your glasses, whatever. Like, small things, or your phone, can go in the compartment on the bike.
Well, does the big seat not have... Oh, I'm sure it does.
Well, even if it did, they didn't know that when you put it in a locker.
Oh, that you were going to sit in the big seat?
That he was going to sit in the...
Well, I'm sure they could tell.
In the car seat. You never know, because Bob's just as tall as he is. Lexi and Deb are all tall. They didn't need the back seat.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they just tell you, period. Like that, yes, there is a compartment in there, but I think it's more for your phone.
Or like
if you don't want to...
If you wear glasses and you need them to see.
Yeah, but I think it's not for, like...
And my glasses definitely...
And I think it's very... I think she is correct, where it's very much like Hershey Park, where if you have it when you get to the front, they're going to be like, you got to walk the fuck back up there and put it in there, because we are not taking responsibility for all your lost shit.
It's not that. We don't want your shit falling off and hitting somebody.
Well, that is also true, but it's also they don't want you to come back. That's the other part of it is they don't want you to come back and complain like, the video told me I could do this, and I did it, and I lost all my shit. And then they're like, well, we told you to put it in a fucking locker, so.
Well, I don't know why they don't just, like, locker only. Everything has to go in a locker except for your glasses.
I don't know. I don't understand why you don't put the lockers before you even get in line. Like, keep the thing for your phone, so you have your phone and your glasses on you, whatever. You can put those in the compartment. But, like, put the lockers here. Because what's really weird is...
people who aren't on the ride are going to use the lockers.
Not if you put it, like, up in the fucking ride queue, because you gotta walk up that hill.
People still will. A free locker, they're using it.
I don't think they would.
They would be full.
I don't think they would.
Of random shit. Well, it's also probably like...
Or
Because they would need so many more lockers.
Or
Because right now they
once
only
you
need...
get into that queue. I don't know. It's just, well, they have a ton of lockers. Tons of lockers that were not being used when we were on that ride. And we waited like 2 fucking hours to get on that ride.
Not quite that long. You waited about an hour.
It felt like forever.
We waited longer for Guardians.
I know we did.
It was not worth it. I was very annoyed that it was that long.
It was worth it.
I don't mind waiting in line, but that one I was like, I don't
because you didn't like it.
I don't even want to be on this ride.
Because you didn't like it. The wait we did for Guardians is more worth it than the wait we did for Tron. And I loved both those rides.
Well, it's because you wait an hour and then your ride is 2 minutes long. That's...
On what?
Tron. That's everyone's complaint, is I wait in line for so long for
but
a
my
ride
point is,
like...
I would probably wait as long as we did for Tron again. But comparatively...
Well, Guardians was long as shit.
To your argument...
That ride was so
Let's see how long Guardians is.
Because I kept thinking, like,
me.
This is too much.
I loved it. And it was so... What blew my mind was how smooth it was.
Yeah. Both of them.
Because I'm so used to Disney coasters that are fucking, like, super jerky.
They say Rock and Roller Coaster is getting, like...
And you hear it
bad.
go up... You hear it go up a hill. You hear it go down a hill. Like, when you're in Snow White, when you're in Big Thunder Mountain... They're not wooden.
Yeah, they are.
Disney World does not have a single wooden roller coaster.
Well, they make that...
It might have a wooden motif thing on it to make it look like it's wooden, but they're all metal.
They clink like a wooden roller coaster.
No, they clink because it's the gears dragging you up the hill. And they put them inside of a mountain, and it's loud as shit and just echoes through there. And it's very annoying. Cosmic Rewind. I don't care about...
It's got to be like 3 or 4 minutes.
How long is Cosmic Rewind? 3 minutes. The whole onboard ride experience takes just under 3 minutes.
Jeez.
That potentially gives Guardians an hourly capacity of around 2,000 riders per hour, if everything goes right.
Which I can guarantee it's never all going right.
It is one of the most thrilling rides at Walt Disney World. It's a step above Space Mountain, but not as intense as Rock and Roller Coaster.
That's not true. That is not true.
That's what that article said.
It's not true.
I'm just telling you what the article said.
I'm just telling you, all the reviews of that ride were like, if you're prone to motion sickness, you might want to avoid this ride or take Dramamine. There are 3 rides in that park have that disclaimer.
But I think what we were just talking about is why it's not considered as intense. Because Rock and Roller Coaster is jerky.
Well, it also flips.
You do go through a loop, but it's also jerky. Whereas Guardians, yes, you spin, but like all the dips and all the shit you're doing is very smooth and fluid.
God. It is insanely fast.
I'm not saying you're incorrect. The first time we rode it, when I got off, I was dizzy. Like walking out of the building, I could feel it in my legs. Like I was just fucking spinning in circles and shit. Probably.
Because I didn't feel...
Your equilibrium's all fucked up.
I didn't feel sick.
Neither did I.
And, I mean, I would. If any of us were going to get sick on that ride, it would have been me.
But I loved it.
Because I can't even do Star Tours. But it's not, I guess because it's not 3D.
I loved that ride. I loved Tron.
I was really nervous that it was going to be more screen than
I was very nervous getting on Tron.
Why?
Because...
Did you think you weren't going to fit in the seat?
No, I knew I was going to fit in the seat. Because I can deal with it.
Oh, did you think there was going to be a drop?
No, I didn't think there was going to be a drop. It was so when you're in, for those of you that have not ridden it, when you're in the queue, at one point you come over a bridge where the bikes launch.
Yeah.
And when you're on that bridge, it looks like you fucking take off. You do take off fast, but I think it looks faster.
Yeah, it's the same with Rock and Roller Coaster.
Like, it doesn't feel as fast when you're in it. No, Rock and Roller Coaster feels fast as shit when you're in it.
0 to 59, isn't it?
But I think that feels fast because you're sitting like this.
And you're going straight. And then
so when you go straight,
you're
getting forced backwards. Whereas on Tron, you're like this. So you're not getting, like, forced
No.
this way, so you don't really feel it as much.
You can feel it like over your head.
But when you're seeing it, it looks a lot more intense than when you're actually in it. And like I said, not that it wasn't going to deter me from riding it, but like I was standing on that bridge and I'm like, holy shit, this looks... And that's the picture of my mom and I. My face looks the way it does because I am literally saying, holy shit, because I wasn't expecting how fast Tron was.
I forgot to add, because I won't do like a drop.
Yeah.
And we're strapped in the car.
Yeah.
And I turned to Shannon like, does this drop?
It does, but not...
And I think she said no or whatever. But then like we did start to go up. I'm like, oh my God. I think she misunderstood my question.
I forget how you drop, though.
It's just little.
Yeah, it's not a huge thing.
No.
Like, you're not doing,
It's not Steel Force. It's just like a little.
what's the one I rode?
Nitro?
Candymonium.
No.
Whew! That shit was intense.
No.
I have never ridden a roller coaster like that before. I mean, I don't regret it. I would probably do it again, but
I have, and I will never.
I've
do it
never
again.
ridden one like that, and it was an experience.
I went on it's not the big one anymore, but I went on the big one at Six Flags.
Well, I'm pretty sure Candymonium is bigger than Steel Force.
Oh,
I think we looked it up. I think it is.
It's a different kind of drop.
It is a different kind of drop,
Steel
but I think...
Force is that like free fall because it comes out.
No, that's not Steel Force.
Yeah.
No, Steel Force is a hill.
Yeah, it goes up, but when it comes down,
No.
it goes back on itself a little bit because
No.
the drop is
Steel Force does not do that.
Yes, it does.
It does not.
But it has.
Do you want to take a picture of it? You're thinking of Candymonium.
No, I'm not. No, you're thinking of that scary one that your mom went on.
Candymonium looks like when you're on it, it feels like you're going straight down.
Yeah, so Steel Force.
No.
Because that was its whole thing.
Steel Force. Images.
It's like a G-force, a something.
I don't want your fucking front view. Give me the side view. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the down or is that the up?
It goes up like this, and then when it comes down, not a lot, but it makes like a weird shape. Like it comes out a little before it goes down. Because it's not like that one at Hershey Park where it goes like up and over the hill and straight back down. But like
no, you go into a curve.
on Steel Force, no, you don't. You go straight back down and up another hill.
No.
It's 2 hills.
So there's this bit here. You're going up that bit.
Yeah. And then
That's where you come down, and it goes to a curve this way, and you go into that tunnel. There is no...
That's the second thing.
At no point does that come back.
But it doesn't. Do you see how it doesn't go? It's not straight, and it's not
No, but it also
curved.
doesn't come into itself.
But it goes like
That wasn't a thing when Steel Force was
this.
open.
It goes like this. It doesn't go like...
No, it goes like this.
No,
Yes, it does, because the tunnel is over here.
There's definitely 2 hills.
You're coming at like a curl. Well, there's tons of hills right there at the bottom.
No, at the end. That's at the end.
We'll watch a POV when we're done recording. Oh, this picture. This is the picture you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's
it's
the 2 hills.
It's 2 hills. But do you see how they're different from like a regular roller coaster?
I see what you're talking about, but you're still...
And there's something about like when...
I don't think you're still correct.
When
I think
Steel Force opened, there was something about the way that the track goes.
I think as you come down and you go at like a slight turn.
No, it has something to do with the angle.
Because theirs coming down.
Yeah, but it's like...
That's not near as severe as you're illustrating with your arm.
No, it's not like this. But it's not...
Because what you're illustrating did not exist when Steel Force was...
But like
ride.
all the other roller coasters come down at more of an angle, I feel like.
I think I could ride Steel Force if we ever went back to Thorny Park.
You can ride that one by yourself. I rode it once and I would never go on. It's not even fun.
I've never ridden it.
It's not fun.
I've never ridden it because, well, Jacob, my mom did. I never did because of Alien Encounter, but...
It depends on... I don't like drops in a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So, like, that's all that ride. It's just, wee, and then I think it goes around, and then it goes bloop, 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 and then it's done.
It's up and down, up and down. You come through... Well, you go up, down through that tunnel, do a U-turn, and then the other side of it is just the little, like, caterpillar-looking thing.
I prefer, like, the corks, like a Great Bear, or, like...
Yeah.
the corkscrews and the no drop.
Or what's the other one? What's the red one? The Sidewinder.
Well, that's...
Is that the red one?
Yeah.
By the barbecue place?
Yeah.
Where it looks like you're going to hit the fucking ground?
That's just a train. That's just a runaway train.
You're a runaway train.
That's literally all it is.
But yeah, so if you're going to Disney World in the near future, I highly suggest a virtual queue.
They're not that hard to get.
At 7 a.m. for Guardians of the Galaxy and Tron. Well, that was also January. Other times of the year, they're probably very hard to get.
I mean, but I was on right at...
That's what I mean. We were on right at 7 a.m.
I did.
Whatever. Only one person has to do it anyway.
Only one person can.
We didn't both need to be on there.
But I would imagine you have to be on right away.
I don't think there's anything else really memorable to talk about on the trip. I'm trying to just scan through my brain quick if there was anything else because nothing else we did was new.
No, Tony went on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Tony went on stuff. Our kids enjoyed it.
And the Haunted Mansion.
We did a lot of pool stuff. Watched a girl pee in a shopping bag on the boat.
Well, a child, not...
Yeah, a child. Her mother and her mom's friend made her pee in a shopping bag on the boat back from Disney Springs to Saratoga Springs. I think that was about it. I was going to take that survey that they sent me, and it was just for Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I told you that was...
And I did it late. I was too late to do it. I mean, I wouldn't have done it anyways, because we didn't do anything in Animal Kingdom.
Well, no, I started it, and then it was, a lot of, in-depth... it wanted me to make comments. And I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it.
I should have done it and just said, what's your overall opinion? And been like, Avatar was the biggest waste of money people ever did. This is the stupidest part of any of the parks I've been in.
But it keeps everyone out of the rest of Animal Kingdom, because that's where everyone goes.
Go stand in your 4-hour-long line for those dumb fucking Avatar rides.
They're not long anymore.
The one is. The boat ride's not.
No, the boat... Well, I think they're an hour.
The boat ride isn't. And if it is, it's just because people love Avatar so much, they have to go...
Well, and it's the same reason there's a line
throw themselves
for
at James Cameron.
Pirates of the Caribbean, and...
Yeah.
It's because it's something to do.
But yeah. So, that was fun. Speaking of Disney things, I wrote this in my notes a while ago. Tony is now watching Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers because I got kind of tired of watching Kif and Big City Greens and Phineas and Ferb over and over and over and over and over again. Really, it was just Kif and Big City Greens.
Well, it's just Big City Green.
Yeah, he's coming back on Kif. Phineas and Ferb is at every now and then, but he always wants to watch Big City Greens. And I've gotten to the point where if I just put on... Because we organically started watching Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. I didn't force him into it. And he's into it. He sings the theme song. He also likes DuckTales. But, he'll ask for Big City Greens.
There's nothing not to like.
I will put on Chip 'n Dale. He will scream for the first 30 seconds as it's coming on. I didn't want to watch this. Yeah. And the second the theme song starts playing, he's silent and into it. I'm like, of course you are. But I thought of it watching that show. I forget what episode it was specifically. I think that show, and they do kind of joke about it in the movie that just came out. I think Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers was my first exposure to a drug addict on television. Because Monterey Jack, when it comes to cheese, is clearly a drug addict.
Well, it's just supposed to be... It's more that he's an alcoholic.
I think it's more...
I don't really remember.
If you watch it, I think it's really more that he's a drug addict.
A lot of shows did that.
But they do joke about it in the new movie. I think he goes to recovery for it. I want to watch the movie again because it was very funny. It was a very good movie.
It's one of those
But whatever episode it was,
this mouse is addicted to cheese.
Whatever episode it was, we were watching it, and as an adult, because I loved that show as a kid, but as a 30-year-old man seeing it, I'm like, I think this might have been my first exposure to a drug addict on television.
Well, no kid would ever.
No, they wouldn't.
That's an adult reference.
It's definitely a thing when you watch it as an adult where you're like, holy shit, I think Monterey Jack is a drug addict.
Yeah, we're they're not trying to push any sort of agenda.
No, they're not trying to, like... There's never an episode where they have, like, an intervention for him.
Yeah, no. But,
which I think they do in the movie.
But the movie
was for adults.
Yeah, kids could watch it, but, like, it's not... You're not going to get it.
Well, that movie is very much the way I see a lot of cartoons now, where, like, you could watch it with your kids, but there's a lot more references and stuff for the adults.
Well, and it was...
And I think it's done that way. I think it is more a movie for adults because, like...
We were the kids that watched
that show's not on anymore. Yeah. So it's for millennials who grew up watching Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers.
Yeah.
So that's what the movie
like, you could show it to your kids and like, be like, oh, I watched the show as a kid. Like, it would be fine.
Yeah.
But, like, they're not going to catch.
What did he watch the other day? I forget what it was that I was going to say he was watching the other day. But yeah, I'm trying to get him into the older shit. We haven't started Tailspin yet, but we'll get there.
I didn't watch... I mean, I did watch Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, but we didn't have the Disney Channel. So, like, a lot of it, I saw...
It blows my mind the other night when you said you did not grow up watching reruns of the Mickey Mouse Club.
I've never watched the Mickey Mouse Club.
That blows my mind.
Like, I know about
The only reason I know those songs is from watching the show.
The MIC?
Well, who's the leader of the club? It's Made for You and Me.
Yeah, MIC,
the whole
KUI.
That's the opening, though.
Yeah, and
now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. MIC,
I know it because my mom used to say
see you real soon. KEY. Why? Because we like you. Not because we love you. Because we like you.
Well, because I feel like at the time it may have been inappropriate.
I think because at the time, saying I love you wasn't as big a thing as it is now.
Yeah. No, that's not true, because Sharon, Lois, and Bram, their whole thing was Skinny Marinky Dinky Dink.
I don't know who those people are.
I love you.
I don't know who those people are.
The Elephant Show.
Not a clue.
It was...
I don't have a clue who those people are.
You weren't born yet, and it was gone before you would have watched TV.
Not a clue.
But they said I love you.
Okay.
I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening and underneath the moon.
Okay.
So that can't be it. Probably because it just sounded better.
Keep learning. Elmo loves you. I know that much.
Well, Sesame Street's probably always said it, but they're in a whole different...
Well, not always, because Elmo didn't always exist. Elmo is newer than you think he is.
Yeah, but I think the show... I
don't know what I watched today that was like... He started out as a background monster. Like, he was not the character he is. That's not what he started out as.
No, but I think, like,
And his voice was very different.
I don't remember, honestly.
He had, like, a deep Neanderthal, like, caveman voice, and he talked like that. And then it wasn't until... What's his name?
Oh, the kitty guy?
The black guy who did the voice. When he came along, that's when Elmo got, like, reinvented and became the Elmo we know today.
I wonder what year that was.
Balsamic vinegar?
Because I remember watching Sesame Street, but, like, I don't, like, there was no Elmo.
I'm aware of the characters. I've always been aware of the characters. I have no recollection in my brain of ever watching Sesame Street. We probably did. Because I know Big Bird. I know all of them. I knew them before I was even, like, an adult. Like, I didn't stumble upon them one day and, like, who the fuck are these people?
Well, and, like, if you were big into the Muppets, you would have known who they are.
So, I do recall watching Muppet Babies and The Muppet Show. Like, reruns of that show. But, like, I don't have... I mean, even I don't have vivid memories of watching The Muppet Show either. I have vivid memories of watching Muppet Babies. But... Like, I remember watching The Muppet Show. I don't have any recollection of watching Sesame Street.
What was it on PBS?
Yes. But I would have to imagine we did.
What, did you watch other PBS? Like, did you watch Arthur?
Yeah, we watched other shows on PBS. So I would have to imagine we also watched Sesame Street. I just don't have a recollection.
Was Mr. Rogers on PBS?
Yes. Mr. Rogers was on PBS.
We watched Mr. Rogers.
We watched Mr. Rogers.
That was a staple.
We watched a lot of Arthur. But Arthur was also when I got older.
Yeah, I was, like, at the point where I was, like, in between watching, like, kiddie shows.
When Arthur had...
Because I watched it a little bit.
Because we had, like, the computer game and stuff and all the books for Arthur. I think Arthur was really the beginning of that whole, like... We're really going to use this show to try and teach kids. Because, like, Sesame Street does it, but not to the extent Like, Sesame Street didn't have a computer game that was clearly education-based.
Well,
Sesame Street didn't have, like, learn-to-read books, like My First Books or whatever. Like,
I think they were just starting to cash in on Arthur.
No, I think Arthur was, like, the beginnings of that era where shows, like, those kind of little kid shows then also branched into, like, we can use this to make educate. Because it wasn't, like, the game I had was not, like, a fun...
Yeah,
come play the Arthur video
you still
game.
had to buy it.
Yeah,
so it's just like,
well, I'm not saying that, but I think like it wasn't.
They found a way to.
It wasn't just like Star Wars making
that.
action figures and like
No,
lunchboxes, just like that.
Yeah,
it was clearly things for education.
They were
because while I had fun playing the Arthur game, I do remember that it wasn't a game of like, oh, let me get home so I can play Arthur the video game. Like it was clearly like. It was teaching you how to count and numbers and write and all that kind of shit.
It was like supplements to the show, sort of. Even though, like, Arthur
there was another
the show
one I had
not,
that was
like,
very
teachable.
I should go back and look at like find videos or something of all the old games I used to play because a lot of them were fun. One of them was this weird. The mascot was a rabbit, and
Reading Rabbit.
I don't think it was Reading Rabbit.
He had a little train.
I don't remember what it was. I know you made food at one point.
Oh, no. This was like an MS-DOS game.
Well, not food, but like tickets came in. You worked at a restaurant and tickets came in, and I forget what. Like, it was all educational. There was a thing with like bugs playing instruments. There was a carousel thing at one point. Like, I'd have to look it up to find it because I don't have a clue what the fuck it was called.
Your games came on CD-ROM, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And my games came on CD-ROM.
Mine came on a floppy disk where it was literally MS-DOS and the little C with the slash was flashing and you would type in Oregon Trail. And then Oregon Trail would come up. And there was a game with an osprey where, like, you were a fish in a lake.
Reader Rabbit.
That's the game I had, Reader Rabbit.
I think.
Reader Rabbit's the game I had, but on the floppy disk.
Is this the game I'm thinking of? I need pictures that aren't the fucking cover art.
Let me see.
That rabbit looks very familiar.
See it.
Let me find it.
I didn't have the CD though. Oh God, that's like long past the Reading Rabbit that I had.
First grade.
Long past.
I need like in-game. Oh, this is definitely it. Because I remember that mouse. Where's that picture? Why would you have a picture there, like, related, and then when I click on it, that picture is not here? I don't need to look at all the CDs. I didn't go into the shopping section. I went into the images section. Yeah, this very crude...
Yeah, mine was worse than that.
Yeah, here he is. Here's the Let's Play, Reader Rabbit Preschool. And you had, like, Shape Shack, Pattern Parade. You played these games.
So, this is yours.
Here's the games.
Here's mine.
Christ. Here's the games. And you got keys. And then, like, you collected the keys, but you played the games. I think it also, like, the more keys you got, it colored in that carousel. And then you got different carousels.
This one is, like... a cassette tape? I don't even know. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I played the shit out of this game.
So did I. Oh my god, and the disc was blue.
Reader Rabbit. I forgot all about Reader Rabbit. I miss you, Reader Rabbit.
There it is. There's
Yeah, this is the one I had. A blue CD-ROM.
This where it's like the
from the Learning Company.
You could play the sorter, the labeler, or the word train, or matchup games.
From the Learning Company. Now, what's a shame is, can I buy this on eBay? Sure. Do I have anything to fucking play it in? No. Because I found an old computer game that I brought here and put in this computer, and it was like, are you fucking stupid?
I think there's something you can download, though.
There's probably some sort of reader that you can download to read them. Because people wouldn't continue buying them. They're not like collector's items.
No, but like they're not for sale by the manufacturer anymore.
No, they're not. They're definitely.
But there's you could go on a website where you could. I could
probably download an app.
Some kind of decoder.
There's probably a Reader Rabbit app, or there's probably just a Reader Rabbit website.
Maybe not.
There might not be, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, right. If they just converted.
If they just moved along in technology, but Christ, how the fuck did we get here? Yeah. What else do I have in my notes? Oh, another fun thing that happened to us, which we laughed about it very much, and I wrote it down because I wanted to share it on the show because I thought it was very funny. Last night we're sitting here just watching TV.
Oh.
It's about...
It was 8 o'clock.
8... No, it was about like 7:50 probably when we heard a nice knock on the door. And it wasn't that. It was like a weird like...
Yeah, but they didn't do the shave and no hair.
No, it wasn't.
But it was like...
It was like the melody to a song from Book of Mormon. Like, it was a very much like...
No.
It was a weird...
It was just...
No, it was not. It was not. It was a weird knock because they did it on Kevin's door too. It was a very weird, like, there was a pacing to it.
But so it wasn't like long.
No, it wasn't
like 3 or 4 knocks.
No, yeah, it was more than that.
No, it was
not. It was definitely more than that. It was minimum 6.
No, it wasn't.
I think it was like 4, a pause, 1, and then like 1 more.
I don't think so.
It was definitely, there was a song. There was some song that kid knew and he was knocking to it.
Mormons don't know music.
They know music. But yeah, I answered the door because why would Kelly answer the door?
Exactly. Why would I answer
For those of you watching the video, you can see we just have a big curtain with a fucking window behind it. We don't have a peephole like a normal door. I mean, before we didn't have a curtain. When we bought the house, it was just a big window. So
we tried to frost it and it didn't work.
No, it did not. But so we put a curtain there, and there's a knock on the door. It's 10 of 8 o'clock at night on a Friday. I thought it might have been the neighbor because he watched our cat when we weren't home. I thought it might have been my aunt because every now and then on her way home from work, she just stops in. So I'm like, who the fuck is this? Because even when it's the two of them, I think, like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah. Anytime anyone knocks on our door, I'm like, no.
And I can't look through the window because they're always right there. They're either at the door, on the steps, like they're somewhere near where I'm like, either I can open this curtain and see you, and then I'm going to look like a giant asshole because I'm just not going to open the door.
I think I would have just taken looking like an asshole.
Or I can just open the door. So I open the door, and it's 2 kids. One's got like a zip-up sweater on, like
they're
quarter
18.
zip.
They are 18.
They're kids. One's got like a quarter zip sweater on, and the other one's got... I think he had a zip-up, but it was only like halfway. A white dress shirt, probably short sleeve, and a red tie. And all they said to me was, "Good evening. We were wondering if you'd like to come to church on Sunday." And I said, "No thanks." And they were like, "Okay, thank you. Have a good night. God bless." And they went to the neighbor's house and knocked on his door.
They just left.
But we were laughing so hard. So I stood at the door and waited to see if Kevin answered and what he was going to say to him. I don't think they ever came to the door. Well, no, I didn't. I heard them there. I don't know if when they got to the door they were already gone.
Maybe they have a ring. That they like peeked.
I don't know.
Maybe that's what we need to get. We need a ring so we can see who's knocking.
I mean, we definitely do need to get some sort of ring doorbell. I've said that for a while now, but
not for security purposes, just to see when someone knocks on the door.
Well, so that when I'm home in the afternoon on unemployment in the wintertime, when the fucking Verizon guy knocks, trying to sell me Verizon, it's like, no, dude, I'm in here with my fucking kids. Leave me alone. Because he does not just say, "Good evening, God bless." He asks you, "Well, who do you have right now? What are you paying? Are you sure you don't want to switch?" I'm fucking positive, dude.
Yeah,
get off my
Verizon,
porch.
We don't like it. Bye.
Like, stop fucking soliciting here. Go somewhere else.
It's so strange that, like, because this is a dead-end street.
Other people in your area are switching. Are they? Are they?
Because we haven't seen a single Verizon. Oh, the only thing we've seen Verizon is you soliciting this street.
Yeah.
So why is this street so hot for you?
Who knows? But that was funny. That happened. What else is in my notes?
I was laughing so hard. I was like,
you were. And I'm really mad you didn't answer the door.
Well, what? I wouldn't have said anything else. I mean, I might have asked what church.
I'm sure you would have. You would have had some sort of follow-up question. You would not have done what I did, where it was just like, "No thanks." And I'm like, "Okay, thanks. Good night."
I think the knee-jerk reaction would have been like, "What church?"
Yeah, probably.
And then they would have said, and then I would have said, "I'm Catholic," and then they would have went, "Oh, bye."
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it would have been more entertaining if you answered.
Maybe they wouldn't have even talked to me. I don't know.
Is your husband home?
If they did that...
Is the man of the house present?
Oh, my God. If they did that, I would have been like, no.
And I'm in the living room.
There's no man in the house.
I'm in the living room and I would have heard it. I'd be like, I'm right here.
I would have been like, I'm a lesbian.
I would have been on the love seat and I would have heard. And in the faint back, I just heard, I'm over here.
No, I would have just been like, there is no man in the house.
I'd be like, what do you need? Car breakdown?
He's dead.
This is the man of the house. Hope to send Robin to the door.
Yeah. Like, I got this. Will that do?
Oh, God. Yeah. That was just funny enough that I thought we had to share it on the show.
I mean, I did text Dana immediately.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you are never going to guess what just happened.
Other things do I have here? The Ted TV show I started watching. You scoff. It is hilarious.
It looks so dumb.
You should watch it. Like, watch.
I liked the first movie, but I don't remember caring for the second movie.
I don't remember the second movie.
I know Amanda Seyfried's in it. And
I remember Mila Kunis is not in it. Mark Wahlberg does reprise his role. Mila Kunis is not in it.
Yeah. Someone is trying to say that, like, Ted's not a person, so he sues.
I think his employer fires him.
And
he gets married as well. No, it's his marriage.
Oh, yeah, they won't let him get married.
They won't let him get married because he's not a person. He's a teddy bear.
Yeah.
And then Amanda Seyfried is his attorney.
Yeah.
And Morgan Freeman is her boss, is also an attorney.
I don't remember.
He's in the movie.
I don't remember more than that. I remember it being like, okay.
I remember virtually nothing from that movie aside from the cast and, like, sprinklings of the plot. I remember the first one vividly because I love the first one.
But then, like, when they made the second one, I'm like, okay, like, it's still a talking vulgar
I do remember the second one not being as good
because, like, the novelty of the movie.
No, I just think it was. I think it was just a weird. I don't know. I think it was too much. I think the whole plot of, like, it went too far. Going with a lawyer because you can't get married because you're not a like it was. I think it was just too much. Like, the first one doesn't have a plot. The plot of the first one is Mark Wahlberg as a child wishes his teddy bear to life. It comes to life. They're adults. Now there's some weird guy stalking them because he wants Ted.
Oh, yeah.
That ends up being the plot of the movie. And the subplot is his relationship with Mila Kunis.
Yeah, and, like, barely.
But, like, that's the plot of that movie. Whereas the second one tries to get, like, almost like a deeper narrative, and it's like, this doesn't work.
Right. Know your role.
But the series is, we should definitely watch the first episode.
I don't want to.
You should, because it is so funny.
The parts I saw of the episode you have on, I'm like, this is for, like, prepubescent boys.
No, it is not.
So
no, it is not. It is literally, it's Family Guy. The show is Family Guy. It's live action It might as well be. Because the opening of the show... So you know how they open Family Guy episodes with, like, a clearly 80s, 90s sitcom where, like, the camera pans down on the front of the house?
Sure.
That's how... Like, Full House. When they show you the outside of their house, that's what all sitcoms did. Family Matters is the same way. Like, the opening shot of the show is just like, here's the front of the house. And then you go in the house to start the show. Ted opens with, like, just this, and it looks it's the same setup. The windows on the top, the windows on the bottom, where the garage. It is the exact same floor plan essentially of the house and Family Guy. So I was just so weird. Like, is that what this is? Maybe. Did Seth MacFarlane just reboot Family Guy live action?
Maybe.
But it is. I think it's hysterical. I've laughed a lot, and I'm like 4 episodes in. I think it's very funny.
I guess that's why Ted 2 is trending on HBO Max.
Probably, because Ted the show just came out.
Unless it's new to HBO, I'm not sure.
It may have just come to HBO Max, probably.
Because I remember seeing it like, what's this?
Yeah. I remember watching the first one with my Aunt Janet and Uncle Ken, and I didn't want to. We had it, and I watched it, and I loved it. And then they came in for whatever holiday it was. And I forget why it came up, and they wanted to see it. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this with you. But like my mom made me put it on. And I forget why like I had to watch it with them. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this movie with you. Like, this is not a movie.
No.
There's other stuff that I've had to watch with like parents, and I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Well, I watched American Pie with my grandma, so.
That's horrible. I could not imagine doing that.
She put it on Thanksgiving. I was probably in high school.
Top notch.
She also called it apple pie.
I mean, she's not wrong. Is it? No, it's cherry. Is it a cherry pie?
I don't know.
I think it's a cherry pie.
No, I think it's... I don't know. I don't remember. I think it's an apple pie. But
I don't think it's apple. I think it's a cherry pie.
But she called it apple pie. And my mom was like, there's no chance we were watching this. And we did.
Top notch. That's amazing.
I'm like, why is this still on?
That's amazing. The most awkward thing I feel like I've watched with my parents was probably Robin Williams live on Broadway, which is just stand-up, but still not jokes that you think you're going to watch with your parents.
Yeah.
But Ted was definitely one I watched. And the only other thing I've done that in my mind it was not a big deal, but people told me after the fact, like the day after, that it was a big deal, was my friend's sister. I forget how old she was. We watched Superbad. She was not like a child, but like she wasn't... I feel like she wasn't technically old enough to be watching Superbad.
It was rated R. So none of you were old enough to be watching it.
We probably were.
You were all over 17?
No, definitely not.
Then you were not old enough.
I think I was over 13.
Yeah, rated R is 17 and over.
It's super bad.
That movie's terrible.
Not at that age, it wasn't.
This coming from a guy who likes Ted, so no shocker.
I mean, Ted is sweeping the nation right now, so Ted is getting rave reviews. I'm pretty sure it's got like a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Of course it does, because people love, like, oh, the first one was so good. It's just all these bros watching Ted.
I don't think that's the case. I mean, I don't know. I don't really give a shit. I like Ted. I think it's a great show. It's very funny.
I mean, clearly there had to have been an audience, or they wouldn't have.
Ted is one of the few. There's a lot of comedies that we watch. Ted is one of the few shows that has made me laugh out loud.
Well, it's probably also like
hard laughter.
They're going with the easy humor, which is fine. That's fine.
People
like that. Like, they turn on a comedy so they can laugh. So go for it.
But yeah, I think Ted is a show people should be watching. Just my opinion.
Well, maybe it's more for men and
clearly,
less for women.
Clearly, just my opinion. But I think you would like it because you only saw 10 minutes of one episode.
That was enough. One guy was annoying.
What guy?
I don't know. The one in the tub and then his brother. They were annoying.
And his brother? What?
I don't know who those people are.
What are you talking about? The guy on the phone in the bathtub?
Yeah.
That guy was weird. Well, no, the point of that was his mom invites her friend's son over to play with him because Ted went with the cousin to be her DD. Well, then the guy gets there, and it's like that 38-year-old man. The big twist, spoiler alert for, I think, episode 4 of Ted, the big twist at the end is like whatever time of night he answers the door, and it's someone his age. Oh, I'm whatever the fuck her name was. I'm her son. My mom. I just got back from a party. My mom told me to come play with like whoever's kid here. So the big joke is that 38-year-old man who just knocked on their door and the mom let in was not her son.
Weird.
It was just some guy who offered him crack and then took a bath in their house.
Weird.
And when he asked him, like, who just comes into someone's house and, like, takes a bath? And he's like, I live every day. Like, carpe diem, young man. Like, it's so stupid, but it was so funny. And he's on the phone with his dad in the tub. Like, when he comes into the bathroom, the phone call is like, can you believe we're taking a bath at the same time?
I assumed he was talking to a woman.
Well, you think that, but then he says like, "All right, Dad, I'll talk to you later," and he's like, "I love you, I love you," and like he's like, "Oh, I didn't get him," and he hangs up the phone. It also takes place in 1993, so like, I don't know.
That might also be why people love it.
I don't know. I thought it was hysterical.
They're always, if it's got some sort of nostalgia, people are in.
I thought it was hysterical, and I'm only 4 episodes in. I mean, just recounting it to you now made me laugh out loud. So,
yeah, I think I'll.
Well, there's a very much like, because the other point of that episode, what him and Ted are doing is they go up on the roof, and the kids that have shitty Halloween costumes on, they throw eggs at them. And at the end of the show, he has eggs. They're ostrich eggs, which is a whole weird subplot thing to explain that doesn't matter. But they're very late to get Ted back. Well, they take her professor's moped. So he's now in a basket with like, he's supposed to be an Ewok, but I think he may have a blanket on. So it looks like an ET costume. And he chucks one of the eggs at him and like says something about him being ET and then doesn't realize it's them and they crash. And his cousin's just like, "What the actual fuck?" And Ted goes, "Is this what we've been doing to people? We were wrong, Johnny. We were wrong." It's so good. It reminded me very much of the scene in Ted, the movie, when him and Mark Wahlberg are chucking shit at people on bikes or whatever on the sidewalk from that apartment, and they hit the guy on the bike, and he's like, "That's what you get for exercising."
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No.
He's either on a bike or running, and I forget what they're throwing at people, and they fucking hit the guy, and I think he falls. I think it's a guy on a bike, and he falls off the bike, and then Ted just yells at him like, "That's what you get for exercising." It's so good.
And
Thunder Buddies for life.
Well, I remember the Thunder Buddies.
Fuck you, Thunder. You can suck my dick. You can't ever get me because you're just
is that
God's
the-
farts.
Is that the one where someone farts at the restaurant?
Yes.
I'm here on business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Him and Mila Kunis are at dinner, and
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg farts, and then it's the 3 businessmen behind them. They're just like mid-conversation.
Why would you do this
and then
to
someone's
us?
like, "Oh my God, why would you do this to us? I'm here on business." It's so good. But that movie, again, is Family Guy. It's the same humor of Family Guy.
And that one, I think, too, the same with now. Like, that when that
And what's
movie
funny
came out,
is-
people weren't doing that sort of comedy. Wasn't as comedy.
What's
anymore.
funny is there are a few things in the show that are hitting the same beats. Because there's the scene in the movie where he's got the 3 hookers, or 4 hookers, in the apartment. There's a scene in the show where it's him and 3 hookers.
Well, I'm sure.
Because he finds the dad's
I keep smacking this thing.
he finds the dad's gun and he's shooting it. Oh, I got a great idea. He goes and gets a slip and slide. He sits on the end of the slip and slide and fires the gun, and it just shoots him backwards. And then I think he falls on the slip and slide when he tries to get back on it, drops the gun, it shoots through the window and shoots the TV. And then when the dad comes home, it's like, "What the fuck happened?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I accidentally shot the TV." And he's like, "Shot the TV?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I felt real bad about it. But then I realized, like, it's an accident. Accidents happen every day. What are you beating yourself up about it for? And I called these 3 ladies over, and I feel a lot better about myself. And I forget, again, because the names in the movie were hysterical, their names are also hysterical. What the fuck is the last... Oh, the last hooker's name is Beef Stroganoff. It's so stupid.
Well, that's the one where he just like rattles off the movie.
Yeah.
Where he's just like,
Yeah, their names
Tammy, blah blah blah.
Their
blah,
names
blah,
were
blah,
also...
because they're trying to remember. They're trying to remember someone's name.
Yeah, but the hookers are very weird names. The scene where it's the 4 hookers and he introduces them to Mark Wahlberg and Mila Kunis, their 4 names are very strange.
I don't remember.
I think it's the same formula of like they're all kind of weird and then one is super weird, and this is like 2 strange, but I could say that for a hooker kind of names, and then Beef Stroganoff. And the whole episode is he shoots the TV, and then the cousin's like, "This is why he needs to be in school," because they're trying to get him like. She's saying that everyone in the house is super racist and super stupid because they're not educated. Like, they're very ignorant because they're literally not educated. So then she's trying to convince them to send him to school. And then she says something about him going to school, and he's just like, "Shut up, beef." That's the end of the episode. That's the commercial break. But yeah, I don't know. I find it very enjoyable. And the last... Oh, no. I have two other things on my notes. This is going to be a very notes-heavy episode. We probably won't talk about anything else.
I was going to say.
Which I did. I wrote that and thought that. I had something in case, but we've vamped enough, which I kind of assumed we would. The last two things are... I have seen... I forget what this one was about. And I thought this was very funny to me in a Facebook comment section. I forget what the article was even about. And someone commented... Oh, there's this whole thing. So tonight's SNL, as of this recording, is... I forget how you pronounce her name. It's like Ayo Edebiri or something like that. She's from The Bear. Very funny. She's hosting. J-Lo is the musical guest.
Oh.
Well, in 2020, Ayo did a podcast, and it's resurfaced now, because of course it has, where she talks about the fact that J-Lo isn't a talented singer.
Yeah.
Because on most of her tracks, she's not singing.
Is it someone else?
I think it's like her background vocals. Like, I don't think it's like someone else, like a stand-in. I think J-Lo is on it, but I think it's more...
Oh, they
because apparently there is like evidence of them, like she couldn't make it to the studio that day. So there's a lot of weird shit that I knew nothing about until this. And then some woman commented about like that people in this comment section saying that she's not wrong, should really do their research, blah blah blah. And some guy commented and said like, "Well, can you show me like your research? Like, what's your proof?" And it made me laugh because this response happens a lot, and especially nowadays when everything is so politicized and everything is so like what's an opinion and what's a fact is very blurred on social media.
Yeah.
She then fires back with like, "I'm not going to do your research for you.
I'm not asking you to do mine. I'm asking to see yours."
And it's like, so basically nothing you're saying is factual. It's just your opinion.
Well,
or and like, you don't have any evidence to back it up.
If you found something that supports your, like, okay, you feel like she's not talented or she is talented, and you found things like articles or whatever that prove that, why are you not sharing it?
Yeah.
Like, why would...
Well, like, the whole thing was about, like I said, she couldn't make it to the studio that day, or this or that, the other thing, whatever excuses there were. And everyone else is just commenting, like, well, she's not wrong. And then this one woman commented, like...
You are wrong.
She is wrong. And that was just baseless rumors, and something about, like, Ashanti came to her defense. I don't fucking know. There's a whole bunch of weird shit that I have never known about until that article.
Why? Because Ashanti also had a single with Ja Rule?
But, like, there was all that shit. And then someone replied to her comment and said, like, well, where's your evidence?
Yeah. Right, like, way in
to which
here.
You fire back with, like, I'm not going to do your job for
like,
you.
Here's
like,
a whole
you have a computer, you have a phone, do your own research. And it's like, no. That's not how this works.
Right, like, we're all in agreement on...
Like, not that everything on the internet is a legal battle, but it's a weird thing to me of, like, because it happens so much now because everything is so politicized, that, like, you put your opinion into the world, but you are putting it out there like, this is a fact. And then when someone's like, well, do you have any evidence to back that up? The immediate response is like, look it up for yourself. I'm not going to fucking do your job for you. You lazy piece of shit.
Now, like,
it'd be like the same thing if you're in court and you're like, there's no way my client could have murdered this man. What evidence do you have for that? I'm not going to fucking tell you that. Look it up yourself. Like,
yeah.
It's just so weird. Like,
it just doesn't make any sense. Like, if we're having an argument, and also, like, I know that I have proof.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just lead with the proof?
It also just shows.
I mean,
like,
it's because she doesn't have any.
It just shows that you're full of shit. It's your opinion that you're saying is a fact, but then when someone backs you, when someone like questions you on that of like, well, where's your evidence that this is a fact? You're like, fuck you.
Even if it's just like...
Because I've had that happen where people have said to me, like, well, where's your evidence for this? Oh, it was that whole Star Wars conversation about how George Lucas changed so much of the old movies so that his wife doesn't get money from them. And they're technically considered, like, new movies. And that's why you can't find the old versions. I had tons of people like, where's your evidence to support that? I fucking went and found articles and cut and pasted quotes and shit like that. And, like, here you go. Here's your fucking evidence. Right. I wasn't like, fuck you, figure it out for yourself.
Right. And sometimes that is warranted if I'm stating just like a...
If there's very common knowledge shit, I will give that to you.
Yeah.
Or if it's something that's been, like, heavily publicized very recently that you're commenting about.
Like, it's all in the headlines.
I'll give that to you. Not, like, niche shit like what I was posting. Not niche shit like she's posting, which, I mean, this whole post was niche shit. I've never once heard the accusation that J-Lo is not a talented singer because she doesn't actually sing on her albums. Like, I mean, I've never heard that.
I don't think she's necessarily talented.
Well, I don't think the claim is that she's not talented. I think
it's not her.
No, I think the claim is she's not as talented as she makes herself out to be. Because she's not doing all the work that she's telling you she's doing.
I feel like I heard one time that it's not her. So, like, when you hear
I don't know. She's got all that
singing, it's someone else.
She's got that weird fucking movie coming out now, so who knows?
But
I have no idea.
Her music was, like, catchy.
I'll look into it, maybe, when we're done recording, because I've literally never heard of any of this.
I feel like I did see that, but I think at the time I thought, like, oh, this is just, like, one of those weird, like, TikTok, I'm just making up rumors to, like, hit the buzzwords to get my videos seen or whatever.
Was that this year? My last bit of my last note here is we did not, so I'm only bringing it up because we did talk on the show about the Emmy Awards. We did pick who we thought was going to win and who we thought was going to lose. We threw it away because when we picked it, it was going to happen. Like, very soon after we did that episode, whenever that was.
Yeah.
And then the writer's strike happened and the actor's strike happened, and they pushed the show off. Well, the show finally just happened 2 weeks ago? A week ago?
Yeah. No, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago.
And it was on Fox, and why would Fox stream their shit anywhere? So we couldn't watch it because we have streaming, and we don't have any of the, like, YouTube with live TV, Hulu with live TV. We don't have any of that. And, you know, CBS puts their shit on Paramount Plus at the same time, or the next day. Disney puts their shit up, Hulu or Disney Plus or whatever. I'm sure the Emmys were on Fox the next day, but, like, just stream it somewhere live. It's 2024. No one's watching your fucking thing on cable.
Yeah, it is weird.
And then you complain about how low your ratings are. Of course they were, because no one's watching fucking cable TV anymore.
Right, because no one has cable. Also, it's on Fox.
Yeah, doesn't know. But
the ratings were low because of the Fox.
But I will just blow through here, like, the big winners. So best drama series was Succession. If you'd like to know any of the nominees, you can let me know.
I don't care.
Comedy series was
I don't know that there's anything I've seen.
Comedy series was The Bear. Ted Lasso and Only Murders in the Building. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, but these are all seasons you haven't watched. Lead actress in a drama was Sarah Snook for Succession. Lead actor in a drama was Kieran Culkin for Succession.
I'm glad that show's over because I'm sick of hearing about it.
The limited or anthology series was Beef. So your nominees there were Beef, that fucking Jeffrey Dahmer thing with what the fuck is his name? Evan Peters.
Yeah, that no one could get through.
Yeah, the people were like, this is too much.
I kind of want to watch it, but I don't think I could handle it.
I think Ryan Murphy's a piece of shit, so. Because I feel like during the writer's strike or something, he said some things that people were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And also, his shows are garbage. You did Glee, dog shit. You did
Isn't American Horror Story his?
American Horror Story. The first season was good, and then you just ran that show into the fucking ground. Like, it was like started on top, and then it was kind of just like, it was good, but then it's just like, why the fuck are we still doing this? Like, holy shit. You did The People vs. O.J. Simpson. Fantastic. Then you did The Assassination of Gianni Versace. Dog shit.
It was too confusing.
Like, you did this dumb, weird, like, we're going to start with the assassination, then go all the fucking way back here.
Remember, it was like back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, it was
really hard to follow.
It was very hard to follow.
Yeah.
Then you did that show on Netflix, the Watcher. Is that what it was called? That one in New Jersey?
Yeah.
That was also stupid. I watched that whole series, and I'm like, why the fuck did I watch this?
Well,
I watched it for Margot Martindale and Bobby Cannavale. I told you how
it was going to end because it's based on a true story.
Well, not even the fact that it ended on the whole, like, we don't really know who did this. Like, that does piss me off, but, like, that wasn't the worst part of it. It just wasn't a good show. It was very Ryan Murphy of, like, it had the same fucking beat points that all his shows have. Ali Wong won for Beef. Stephen Yun won for Beef. Elton John won for Variety Special. Oh, that's what got him his EGOT. Right?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. What was his variety? His concert?
The Live from Dodger Stadium. It's considered a variety special.
Oh, because did they have like some clips in there?
I don't think
so. Or is this a straight up concert?
I think it was just a straight up concert.
Oh, okay.
Well, your other nominees were Chris Rock, his stand up special, the Oscars, the 75th annual Tony Awards, or Rihanna's halftime show.
What the fuck? Since when is the Super Bowl halftime show Emmy-worthy? What?
It doesn't make any sense.
Really reaching for...
Did
the Oscars really think they were going to get an Emmy?
They get nominated every year. I'm pretty sure.
That's gross.
It is very gross. I think that's just like one award. I mean, the Tony Awards were also nominated. What's so weird to me?
Less gross.
What's so weird to me about these nominations are it's Elton John's concert, Rihanna's halftime show, the Oscars, the Tony Awards, and then Chris Rock's stand-up special. Like, what?
Weird.
If you're going to go that route, just do what the Golden Globes did and just make an award for stand-up comedy and just nominate a bunch of stand-up comedy specials.
Yeah.
Because there's fucking tons of them now.
Yeah, that's weird.
Succession won for directing in a drama series. Succession won for writing in a drama series. Actor in a limited series. Oh, Blackbird.
Never heard of it.
Yes, you did. It's that Taron Egerton show that you haven't watched. But it's the guy from that Coupon movie and the the Atlanta bombing movie. The heavyset guy. Paul Walter Hauser. That Clint Eastwood Atlanta Olympics bombing movie that I fell asleep because it was so fucking boring.
It's the Unabomber.
Oh, God, that movie was so... No, it's not. That was Oklahoma City, wasn't it?
Yeah, because they think he did it.
But it's... No, they're in Atlanta.
Oh, it was the Olympic bombing, and they think he did it.
He's the Atlanta bombing in Olympics, and he was a security guard or whatever.
Yeah.
God, that movie was fucking awful.
How would you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't know, because it was so fucking boring, I fell asleep. It was so dull. That movie is one of those movies where it's like, Jesus Christ, something happened. It is all dialogue and not in a good way.
I liked it.
Christ, Clint Eastwood is not a good movie director. Just my opinion.
He's not a good guy.
He's not a good person by any means. But, yeah, it was just, and then variety talk series, The Daily Show. Wow, it wasn't... Oh, they weren't nominated, that's why. Oh, there it is. Writing for a variety series. Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. I'm like, they usually win. They weren't nominated, but they weren't nominated for variety talk series. I guess because they're not a talk show. RuPaul's Drag Race. Every comedy award went to The Bear. Niecy Nash did win for supporting actress in Dahmer, which people... Of all the things that were talked about on that show, if it wasn't negative, the positives was like, holy shit, Niecy Nash like blew this fucking roll out of the water. I didn't hear a lot of
negative.
I heard a ton of negative.
I heard a lot of people saying...
I heard a ton of it's too gross. I heard a ton of like...
I heard it was too intense.
I heard too intense, too gross. I heard a ton of like, you made a show like this and you didn't ask a single person that is still alive that was involved in any of this for anything about this show.
Oh, that's not great.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm
I'm
pretty sure. Well, I'm pretty sure like the woman. Well, there are people who were victims of his that are still alive that were talked about on the show.
He was a serial killer. I'm pretty sure only one survived.
No, well, you weren't like. No, there were people that he took back to his apartment that got away from him.
I don't think a lot.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a very good serial killer.
No one said he was.
I mean, he was.
But yeah, because I'm pretty sure even the character Niecy Nash plays, who's like the neighbor.
Well, he had a wife.
Yeah, but I haven't heard anything about her. I'm pretty sure like the character Niecy Nash plays, I'm pretty sure she came forward and said like, I was never approached for anything involving this show. It was very much the same thing that was weird for. So what's weird is he made Dahmer, and everyone, like all these people came out of the woodwork, like not once.
Wait, and besides,
was I approached?
Him confused with some.
Probably. You're getting Dahmer confused with somebody else?
Yeah.
Well, there's Dahmer, there's Bundy, there's John Wayne Gacy, there's...
Oh, Ted Bundy.
BTK.
Ted Bundy had a wife.
Yes.
Dahmer did not.
No, he was gay.
Maybe
he was
not.
Gay. He was gay.
But he... when he went to jail...
He was either gay or very confused.
When he went to jail, he was interviewed, and he kept... Like, he spun the whole story of porn made me do it.
Yes.
It's Ted Bundy. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know that I could.
So yeah, there was tons of people on the show, or that were like, there's people on the show based on real people.
Right.
And those real people came forward. Like, not once were we ever asked for any sort of like comment, statement,
Did Dahmer
corroborating things, like nothing. But what's weird is he does that for Dahmer. Well, then he's also the guy who did American Crime Story, the fucking impeachment with Monica Lewinsky. And Monica Lewinsky came forward like, I was immediately asked, and Ryan Murphy did the whole song and dance of like, I won't make this show if you're not involved.
Yeah.
So it's a weird thing of like, well, why did you do it for one thing and not the other thing?
Right, like, did you think because he's a serial killer, like, you don't have to look into, like, everyone's already, like, agreed that Dahmer was a piece of shit?
Yeah.
So I don't need the input of anyone? But it's like, well, no, you still need the input for those people portraying how they're being portrayed. They probably don't have a problem with how you're portraying Jeffrey Dahmer.
I mean, I do think we also need to knock it off.
Yeah, we can.
We didn't. As good as that Ted Bundy movie was with Zac Efron, we didn't need it. We didn't need a mini series about Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, we don't need all this shit about your thing is flashing, and I don't know why. The battery's probably dying.
No, it's not. I think it's just
no, it's flashing. Every now and there it goes. Yep.
Oh.
Whatever. We're gonna be ending soon anyway, so it doesn't matter. If I got to, I'll just pull the audio from the podcast and put it on the video. But my biggest gripe, because a lot of people talked about like the fact that Better Call Saul got absolutely fucked at the Emmys, because they actually made the record of being nominated like 37 times or whatever and not winning a single award, which is horseshit, because that show was fantastic.
Well, they were too busy giving everything to Succession.
Well, that is my gripe with the Emmys. I mean, the Golden Globes doesn't really do it. Like, a lot of the award shows don't do it as hard as the Emmys
The Emmys have the downside of shows run for
Well, here's my other gripe, though. So, like, you get through... So, yeah, literally, every drama award went to Succession. Writing, directing, acting. They all went to Succession. Comedy, the majority of them went to The Bear.
Which is shocking, because that's their first season.
I mean, it is fantastic. I'm very shocked that Alex Borstein did not win for Maisel, because that was their last season. Or that Juno Temple didn't win.
Though. She won like...
Or that Juno Temple or Hannah Waddingham didn't win because that was their last season.
Oh.
So it's a weird thing of like, because that's normally the Emmys' MO is like, oh, we're going to send you out on a high note. But I guess not for those shows. They're old news, I guess. Quinta Brunson won for lead actress in a comedy, but because there was no one nominated from The Bear. But again, Rachel Brosnahan did not win for Maisel. But then like you come to supporting actress in a drama series. This is the weird one. Because the winner was Jennifer Coolidge for The White Lotus, season 2.
Oh.
But here's my complaint about how the Emmys do their absolute fucking bullshit nominations. Jennifer Coolidge for The White Lotus. Elizabeth Debicki for The Crown. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her last name or not, but it's the girl who plays...
Queen Elizabeth?
No.
Princess Diana.
Princess Diana. Megan Faye, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, The White Lotus. Sabrina Impostore, The White Lotus. Aubrey Plaza, The White Lotus. Rhea Seehorn, Better Call Saul. She should have won. I haven't seen the second season of White Lotus, but she should have won. J. Cameron Smith, Succession. Simona Tabasco, The White Lotus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people from the same show nominated in this category.
Didn't that happen with Succession?
It happens all the time. Yeah. Supporting actor in a drama series. Matthew McFadyen won for Succession.
But like all the other men were also...
Oh, this is worse. This is worse. So winner, Matthew McFadyen, Succession. Your other nominations, F. Murray Abraham, The White Lotus. Nicholas Braun, Succession. Michael Imperioli, The White Lotus. Theo James, The White Lotus. Alan Ruck, Succession.
Yes.
Will Sharp, The White Lotus. Alexander Skarsgård, Succession.
So were there any other shows?
So you had an entire supporting actor in a drama series category, and you gave every nomination to 2 shows.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Better Call Saul had tons of supporting actors that you could have nominated. Tons of other dramatic shows had tons of supporting actors that you could have nominated. Like, it's just horse shit. And it makes me laugh. It frustrates the hell out of me. It's why I don't really watch the Emmys. Because along with giving the same awards, like, I'm pretty sure Succession has won every year it's been on TV.
So it's like, now you're just giving up, it's going to be Succession until they're done. Like, did you just all agree that?
I don't know who's going to be next. Well, that's what I said about Better Call Saul breaking that record and making that record. Is that, like, you had the unfortunate business of being on television the exact same time that Succession was on television.
But, like...
It's not your fault.
You can't tell me that there wasn't a season of another show that was better than Succession.
Yeah, the final season of Better Call Saul was better than the final season of Succession. I liked Succession. I thought it was a very good show. I don't think the final season was as good as everybody made it out to be. Just my opinion. But it's the same thing with the Oscars. Because there's been all this talk of Margot Robbie. Oh, fuck. What's her name? The director of Barbie.
Oh.
Why am I fucking blanking on her name?
It's not a funny name, but it's like an old-timey name. Gerwig.
Greta Gerwig, there it is. They were not nominated. So she was not nominated for Best Director, and Margot Robbie was not nominated for Lead Actress. And people lost their shit.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling was nominated.
Well, Ryan Gosling was nominated for Best Actor. America Ferrera was nominated for Best Supporting Actress.
Which, fine.
And now, well, what's so funny to me, because we came out of the gate hot with, like, this is horse shit. Why were they not nominated? Now we're spinning into this narrative of, like, well, to say that they were snubbed is insulting to America Ferrera. And it's this very white woman feminism to say that, like, well, these two should have been nominated. And it's like, but you're missing the point of, like, no one is saying America Ferrera shouldn't have been nominated.
She was nominated in the category that...
Well, like, people tried to jump up Robert Downey Jr.'s ass because he said, like, America Ferrera deserved... Your thing's dead. America Ferrera deserved her nomination. But Margot Robbie also deserved her nomination. Because while her speech in Barbie is the crux of that movie, the reaction shots of Margot Robbie are what you're watching. Like, he by no means said that, like, she wasn't deserving of it. That America Ferrera didn't deserve what she's getting.
Right.
But he flat out said, like, Margot Robbie deserves more credit than what she's getting.
Well, and I also saw, like, is I'm Just Ken nominated for Best Original Song or whatever?
Yes.
Because I don't remember who...
Mine's also dead.
Who has the... There's another original song written by someone else for that movie.
Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
What Was I Made For? Which will win.
But they're like, if I'm Just Ken wins and not Billie Eilish, all of us did not get the point of that movie.
When everyone's... No, the Oscars didn't get the point of that movie.
Right.
Well, that's what people said. People immediately said, like, the fact that Ryan Gosling was nominated and Margot Robbie wasn't means you didn't understand the point of the movie Barbie.
Right. Or it's just proving...
Also, Ryan Gosling came out and said, like, this is bullshit. Like...
Yeah.
Like,
and it's not to say that, like, he shouldn't be nominated.
No.
That's not... Because, like, it's not like he was nominated in Best Leading Actress. Like, that's not the situation. But it's just, like, how are you, the Oscars, going to recognize his performance while ignoring...
Well, and people are saying, too, like, the whole new argument of, like, this white feminism of, like, they should have been nominated and this and that and the other thing. People are saying the truth of, like, not one person is saying that these people shouldn't have been nominated.
Right.
Because immediately it gets brought up that America Ferrera is nominated and the Native American girl from Killers of the Flower Moon is nominated. So immediately the argument is like, well, them being snubbed, you're saying that they didn't deserve it. And it's like, no, not one person is saying that. Because also, you have, like, what, 10 movies nominated for Best Picture?
Yeah.
You can add some more fucking nominations to the other categories. And what pissed me off more, not pissed me off, but, like, because as much as I love Whoopi Goldberg, there's a lot of times when she puts her foot in her mouth. And she made some comment of, like, Barbie and Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig were not snubbed. It's just that some people don't like the movies that you like as much as you liked them, whatever her logic was. And I'm like, sure. But realistically, it's more the fact of...
So...
Like, I don't know how you pick your nominations, but every year the Hollywood Reporter or Variety or whoever puts out, like, those anonymous interviews with people from the Academy. And it's always like, oh, there's 10 movies nominated for Best Picture. I've seen 2 of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, so then what the fuck is the point of you being on the Academy board?
You should
voters?
Be required to see all of them.
Like, if you're voting for those awards, it's the same thing with the Emmys. It's always like, oh, I didn't watch all this. Then what the fuck is the point of your job?
Watch the whole season, but, like, at least, like, watch some of it.
Like, and I think it's worse with the Oscars because they're not asking you to watch an entire season of the show. Granted, there are a lot of movies you have to watch, but the other thing is...
Barely!
But the other thing is, you're not nominating... Like, it's not a broad nomination. Most of the time, it's... Just for example, most of the time, it's Barbie is nominated for Best Picture. Margot Robbie is nominated for lead actress for Barbie. Ryan Gosling is nominated for lead actor for Barbie.
There's a lot of overlap.
Greta Gerwig is nominated for Best Director for Barbie. America Ferrera is Best Supporting Actress for Barbie.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the times, whatever you have nominated for Best Picture, it's all the same shit in every other category.
Well, and, like...
There's a few, like, outliers here and there, but it's rare that the Oscars really do that.
Well, and, like... I think they have, like, some categories where, like, those movies are not going to be nominated.
I will also never understand how someone can win Best Director, but then that movie doesn't win Best Picture. Or I've seen different Oscar ceremonies where whatever wins Best Picture will have won, like, the entire night, but then it doesn't win Best Director. And it's a weird thing of, like, how did you win every other award?
Your whole cast wins, but then you don't win Best Picture?
Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit like
what?
that. Yeah, I think that was... No, Green Book did win.
Green Book won, yeah.
Well, won Best Picture, and I'm pretty sure Viggo Mortensen won Best Actor. I don't know if Mahershala Ali won or not.
So is Barbie nominated for Best Picture?
Barbie is nominated for Best Picture.
So then,
America Ferrera is nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Ryan Gosling is nominated for...
So then Whoopi Goldberg's point is even less invalid because the Oscars are already admitting that this is a good movie. So that, but you're
is
not...
it nominated for Best Picture?
You're not willing to admit that... So this movie's only good because of its supporting actors? That doesn't make any sense.
Where's your Best Picture? Select a category. I just want best. There it is. Best picture. American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest.
Right. So you've got Barbie nominated here. So then it absolutely is. That's what you would consider a snub.
I mean, we could have done picks for this. I would guess it's either going to be Oppenheimer.
It's going to be Oppenheimer.
Or Killers of the Flower Moon.
It's going to be Oppenheimer.
It's going to be one of those two, if I had to guess. And probably neither one of them are deserving of it. I mean, I haven't seen either one of them.
It's a war movie.
But
It's going to win.
not necessarily. But, yeah. One of the big talk is Bradley Cooper. Because he's nominated for Maestro at all these award shows, and he's losing to
Oppenheimer.
Cillian Murphy. And the big joke is that Bradley Cooper, like, for one scene in Maestro, I forget how long it is. It's him conducting. It's not even, I don't think 10, it's not even 5 minutes, I don't think. He trained for 6 years.
But he also, didn't he, like...
He wrote it, well, I don't know if he wrote it, but he directed, like, this is a project of his.
Yeah, so...
and he hasn't won. And the big joke is that Cillian Murphy got the role for Oppenheimer 6 months before they started shooting. So it's this thing of like, so Bradley Cooper worked his ass off to prepare for this role with an amazing movie, and then Cillian Murphy just throws some shit together in 6 months, and then you're just giving him every award.
But it's one of those things where, like...
But what's weird is...
Your preparation and what you did in order to fulfill that role doesn't matter.
So what's different, though, is because the Golden Globes gave it to Cillian Murphy, but the Golden Globes also breaks it down between, like, comedy and drama. The Oscars does not, because Paul Giamatti won for lead actor in a comedy, I think, at the Golden Globes. He's nominated for just lead actor in The Holdovers, which I still want to see. I also want to see American Fiction. That's nominated a lot, too. Yeah, Ryan Gosling's nominated for actor in a supporting role. Yeah, your actress in a leading role. It's Annette Bening for Naiad, which I have never heard of. The Lily Gladstone from Killers of the Flower Moon. Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall. Carey Mulligan for Maestro, and Emma Stone for Poor Things.
I haven't seen a single one of those movies.
I saw Maestro, and it was very good.
That's why I never make picks. Like, most of the time, these are not movies I've seen.
And then actress in a supporting role, Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, America Ferrera for Barbie, Jodie Foster for Naiad, and Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. But, like... there's not really anything else. Elemental's nominated for Best Animated Feature.
Oh.
It probably won't win, but... Elemental's nominated, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is nominated. The rest of them I've never heard of. Directing, Anatomy of a Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. What's so funny to me is every category is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nominations.
I think that's how it used to be.
You don't go out of the 5 nominations for any other category.
Except for Best Picture.
And then Best Picture used to be like 5. Maybe you had 6. Now all of a sudden it's 10 fucking movies.
Yeah, you couldn't narrow that down anymore.
Well, it's a weird thing of like, how are you only nominating 5 in every other category, but then somehow the Best Picture gets expanded to double that?
Right, so do you have a lot of movies in the Best Picture that, like, don't have any other nominations?
Yeah, it's a weird... Which then raises that question of, like, if you're nominating the shit for every other category... It makes sense it's nominated for Best Picture. But then how do you have it nominated for Best Picture and it's like not nominated for anything else? Maybe Best Director, but then it's like, how does that fucking work?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It's weird. It's the same shit though with like I forget what movie I was just thinking of. I don't know. My brain farted on it. But yeah. I mean, it'll make me laugh if Martin Scorsese doesn't win anything. Usually, I don't think he does.
Probably not. That's why he runs his mouth.
I don't know what his record is. No, he doesn't run his mouth about the Academy Awards. He runs his mouth about Marvel not being cinema. How it's their theme park movies. Which is a weird thing of, like, the guy who directed The Kingsman and now directed Argyle. I saw an interview with him promoting the movie. And it was like, oh, he talks about Argyle and The Kingsman. And, like, it's listing off what he talks about in the interview. And then one of them is, like, the downfall of Marvel. And I'm like, why is this relevant?
He has one.
For?
He won Best Director for The Departed.
Oh.
The Departed.
That's not the movie I would have thought he won for.
The Irishman was nominated. The Wolf of Wall Street was nominated.
He's been nominated a lot.
Hugo, The Aviator, Gangs of New York, The Age of Innocence, Goodfellas, The Last Temptation of Christ, and Raging Bull have all been nominated.
Yeah, he's been nominated a lot, but he doesn't win.
Just once.
Oh, well. Well, I don't know when they're happening. I forget. But we'll give you some sort of recap when they do. Let you know if anything shocking.
In February.
Let you know if anything shocking happens. I'm sure it won't, but if there's another,
it's March 10th.
If there's another Chris Rock incident or something like that,
I hope not.
I don't think there will be because that was that last year?
Wait, what? Oh,
or was that 2 years ago?
That was last year.
God, it does not feel like it was last year. It feels like it was forever ago.
It was last year.
That's crazy. It does not feel like it was last year. Because she's done so much shit in between there that it feels like it was forever ago. Because I also feels like forever ago that her book came out and she was just running her mouth. But yeah, so we'll talk about it when it gets there.
March 10th.
March 10th. So look forward to that sometime in March. I think that's everything I had on here. We talked about the Mormons. We talked about Ted. Yeah. That's it. Very notes-heavy episode, but sometimes it'd be like that sometimes.
Sometimes it do.
It'd be like that sometimes. Time to see if it's busting or not.
It's not.
It is. Our shows are always busting. We are never chuggy.
Chuggy, not chooky.
I didn't say chooky. I said chuggy with a G.
Chuggy.
I don't know what that means. So
it means out of date.
Yeah.
Not cool anymore. Cringy.
Oh, then we are permanently chuggy. I was incorrect on that definition.
Yeah. Chuggy is cringe.
They on Smosh today they said like, I think someone I forget if it was Shane or someone said like, I think if someone told me I was cringe, it would be like one of the biggest insults I would ever have happen to me. Like you could tell me I'm like awkward or I'm this or I'm that, but if you told me I was cringe, like I think it would be devastating.
He's 100% cringe.
And I'm like, that's too new for me to give a shit. Like if you told me, if some young person told me that, I'd be like, okay.
But like, of course I am.
Yeah. Of course I am to you.
Right. Like, of course you think I am.
What's so funny to me of like, because I'm watching After Midnight now, and they've done a thing of like, I think the game is called like Gen Z or gibberish. And it's giving you a sentence using either Gen Z slang or just nonsense shit made up by the writers. And you have to guess whether it's actual Gen Z slang or it's just nonsense. And it's weird to me of like, I never thought words that like, because I feel like cool was something we did a lot. Awesome was very heavy word for millennials. Like, I feel like we had words that were big in millennial culture.
But they were like words.
Rad. Like, stuff like that.
That was in the 80s. We did not...
It kind of carried over to millennials.
I did not.
Bitchin' really carried over to millennials. Bitchin', wicked.
From Boston?
Yeah.
No, we all know the word that millennials used a lot that we don't use anymore.
Yeah, it was gay.
Yeah.
But not
like... the other one.
The other one?
The R word.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. But it was like...
We did have a very unfortunate time of using the word retard. Like...
And because it was used as slang.
It's so weird to me when you see it in movies now and shit, too. And that really blows my mind. I mean, it doesn't blow my mind, but like...
It's one of those things where, like, when you hear someone say it now, you're like...
It's jarring.
You don't say that.
I mean, I
almost think that saying someone is retarded is worse than calling someone a cunt.
I don't have that reaction to it, but... It's jarring.
it's just like we don't say that anymore.
Well, you do it on your mom's house all the time.
But they do it ironically. Because they know. But, like, sometimes you see, like, someone will say it, and you're like,
because it's Christina doing it.
Stop it. Just stop
Christina's doing it, and Christina does it with the mindset of, like, why can't we say this? But...
Well, yeah,
I don't know. It's one of those things of, like... Because there was a movie I just watched where they used the word gay a lot, and I'm like... It's not that it's... I think the word is jarring, because it's just weird to think of, like, wow. I don't really think about the fact that we don't do that anymore.
I was like, we used to say that.
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, everything used to be gay.
Yeah.
That's just what you did in the 90s.
And then,
like,
even in, like, the early 2000s, I feel like.
Well, and it was either...
And then all of a sudden, we all just realized, like, that's not...
Well, it was the whole thing of, like, for something being stupid, it was just like, that's so gay. But then, like, it was also very, like, what are you, gay? Like, it was very...
Yeah.
Like, the 90s were very pointed of, like...
It was like an...
90s was a weird subliminal, like, being gay is not okay. And we're now in the era of, like...
Who cares?
It's a very divided line. Well, you either have people that are like, who gives a shit? Live your life, whatever. And then you have the opposition is very much being gay is not okay. But I feel like the 90s were the subliminal, like... The bullies at school were like, what are you, gay? Which it was very, like, it's not okay for you to be this way.
Well, and I think, too, look, I just want to know, like, how...
Which, speaking of...
Where did that start?
1993, in, I think, episode 1 or 2 of Ted, his bully says, like, what are you, gay? And Ted's like, is that really an insult? Like, it's 1993. We're a bit more progressive than that. And then he says, like, something about, like, who here is gay? And they're like, the camera pans, there's, like, a whole group of people that just raise their hand. And Ted's like... I forget what he says. Like, how is it? And the guy's just like, it's great. And he's like, see? I don't see what the problem is here. Like, it is a very funny joke. But
that's the difference, though, between, like, Gen Z slang and millennial slang.
But so
like,
I just wondered. Words. But I just wondered, like, was it the same thing of, like, because you don't think, when you're in the heat of slang like that, you don't think, at least we didn't, you don't think, like, oh, other people don't know what this means. Our parents don't know what this means. But that I did wonder, like, as a 30-year-old man, when we started using millennial slang, were our parents like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know, but I think...
IDK, my BFF Jill.
Well, that was weird shit that, like, I never talked like that.
You never said your BFF?
No.
I never talked in, like, text slang. But, like...
Also,
like, LOL.
You've heard me on this show throughout the history of our 110 episodes. Do you think I ever had a BFF to use the acronym of BFF?
Like, that's the stuff that, like, for our generation, it was the text slang that our parents were like, I don't know what that means. Because, like, the words we were using were real words.
But I never talked like that. Maybe it was just me. I don't know.
Gen Z...
It just seems like
it
just seems like every generation after us started to just make shit up. It started with kind of the end of millennials.
Yeah, because we started abbreviating everything.
Into whatever's after us, which I think that was part of the text lingo and text slang.
And everything was abbreviated.
Everything became an abbreviation. That's my point. Everything became an abbreviation.
You're like chicken nugs.
Well, chicken nuggies. It's not nugs. Who the fuck says nugs? It's chicken nuggies. I don't have enough money for chicken nuggets. But like you did that. Well, nuggies isn't really an abbreviation. It's just a weird thing. But like there were words that started to get shorter because it's too much time to say this full word.
It's too much time to type.
But then like.
Then Gen Z comes in like, oh, that's sus.
Well, see, that's not a good example. Sus is not a good example. Sus is not a good example because sus is clearly just short for suspect.
And isn't murked one of them?
Murked is yes, but that's video game slang. That's like Fortnite shit.
Oh.
I think that's even like Call of Duty shit. Like that's video game slang. That's not Gen Z slang.
Oh.
Murked is also. I feel like that was millennial Call of Duty video. That's not Gen Z.
Oh, I didn't hear about it until recently.
Yeah, I've heard about it before, but. Sus is a bad example. I think your examples are like...
Chuggy.
Chuggy is definitely one. But even... I don't know. Because that's
Bussin'.
Bustin' is definitely one. I was gonna say Riz, but Riz is just like the shortened version of charisma. That's all it. I mean, which is not really short. I guess if you take the middle of it, but because sus is the beginning of suspect, that makes more sense. Of like we shortened this, whereas like charisma, you took the middle of it and made it the abbreviation.
I don't know.
But I think that when I see some of the shit, and I'm just like, I don't
know what that means.
Well, and apparently now you talked about the R word versus the C word. Apparently the younger generation, I don't know if it's the younger generation or
they say it all
the
time.
gay crowd is taking back the term cunt.
Why?
I don't know.
Why
Tommy Bowe had a whole show on YouTube that was serving cunt.
And
that's apparently a thing. Like serving cunt is a thing that people say. I don't know if it's younger. I don't know if it's a Gen Z thing or if it's a gay thing.
Oh. Okay.
I have not found that delineation yet.
But what?
Because people on Smosh say it. But like Courtney is, I forget what her delineation is, but she's on that LGBTQ spectrum somewhere. I forget where. But she's in there. So like it makes sense for her to say it. But then Shane also says it. And he's never come out that he's not just a straight white guy. So I don't know if like he's just by association allowed to say it on the show.
Why are we should say it?
Well, I think I heard someone say it's almost a way of like the horrible. What was the horrible analogy of how like black people took back the N-word?
But like, who's taking that
It's
back?
people taking back the C word.
Then it's women. Men can't take that back. You don't have one. This isn't for you.
Well,
that works for me.
I think it kind of started there, and then it blossomed into like the gay community.
What? What?
I don't know. I'm just a 30-year-old man trying to stay relevant.
Do gay men get called cunts a lot?
I have no idea.
I mean, I don't really care.
I know. Well, from what I've seen, I know gay men use the word bitch a lot in a very friendly way. Like I feel like the word bitch, from what I've seen on television and on YouTube, I think the word bitch in the gay community is like the word cunt in England. Like it's a very that's kind of a crossover.
It's a friendly insult.
But yeah, because I know when they played Mario Kart the other day.
It doesn't get bleeped?
No. Yes, it does. Yes. Yeah, it does. It gets bleeped. But they said, like, oh, is Funky Kong because Shane asks, like, is Funky Kong serving cunt?
What does that mean?
Let's find out. This is going to be our closer.
It's going to be something so stupid.
Can't type. I hate when I go to type something and I hit the space bar by accident or like a period by accident and it fucks my whole sentence up.
We're on Bing. So
no, I'm not. I'm on Urban Dictionary. Similar to serving realness, serving cunt takes serving realness to the next level. It's pussy power, bold, to the point, and overall extravagant. Any gender is able to serve cunt. It's a mindset.
Why did you have to say pussy power then? Because that leads me to believe it's not for any gender.
I don't know. This one says, saying something is amazing or fantastic, used similarly as saying someone or something is sexy, mostly just used for women.
What? So...
something that MFs named Lily are always doing. Phrase used for when you're absolutely slaying, the ultimate form of yassification.
Ew. Serving cunt is the ability to portray great realness regardless of gender.
Yeah.
Someone is serving cunt when they are slaying beyond comparison. When they do something undeniably fierce.
Yeah.
It's all part of the reclamation of the word, which has been somewhat polarized.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's literally what I just said to you.
Yeah, but...
I don't know. I'm just telling you the things that I come across on YouTube. Mostly from watching Smosh.
Well, I don't like it.
I wouldn't know what bussy was, but Smosh used it for a while. It was a big like inside joke on
I
their
know what
channel.
that is.
I know what it is now, but I first heard it on because like someone made a joke about bussy, and then like it was one of their.
Did you Google it?
No, it was one of their buzzwords that made them laugh, so it came up a lot. And it also came up a lot because Ian is older than all of them, and like he would then use it, and people were like, "Stop it." So yeah, we'll leave you at that.
That was a wild journey on. I don't even care for that word.
This has been the Friends You Can Keep podcast. We're attempting to serve, but
we're definitely not. If we had to Google what it meant, we're not doing it.
I was pretty sure of what it meant. I just wanted specifics.
Which we really didn't get.
Yeah, we did. It's when you're slaying.
Yeah, but like, why can't you just say that?
Because people got tired of it. Slaying came and went. Slay all day came and went.
So, but what? I just don't understand. Who's trying to reclaim the word cunt?
Everybody, apparently.
Why?
I don't know. Because
everybody spent COVID watching British comedy.
Because we have. That's also true.
And they're like, why can they say it and we can't?
Because you had to get to a point. Like, you can't say slaying anymore. Because the second you got Christmas cards that said, like, slay all day on it, people were like, fuck you, we're over this. Like, this is not a term for you to use. This was a young people thing that you then spelled Christmas. You made it slay, EIGH, and put it on Christmas cards. That, like, we're so clever. And then young people were like, fuck you. You know what you're not going to put on a greeting card? You're really serving cunt.
You could.
You could, but you're not selling that at Hallmark. You're selling that.
If someone sends me a card that says serving cunt on it, it's getting returned to sender. I don't even care. Because, like, why can't we just leave it... Why can't we just leave it be the end-all, be-all of insults? And
in May, I'm gonna write on your Facebook wall like, "Happy birthday! Hope you're really serving cunt today."
I bet you Facebook would take it down. They'd have to. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
You'd have to report it
because, like, it's not a curse word.
No, it's not hate speech.
I guess it kind of is.
Not in the way I'm using it.
No, but like, it's just one of those disgusting words where like, it means vagina. Stop it. Like,
oh god,
that's what it means. I don't want to hear serving vagina. That doesn't like,
but I think you're not,
feel fierce.
It's not being used in that context. Is my point.
It's just weird. It's just weird. Like, if you're trying to reclaim that word, then just start calling all your pals cunts. Like, don't... Because, like, serving cunt doesn't make sense to me because it just makes it sound like... I don't...
Well, I think it's the same way of, like, how people took back the word bitch. It's like, bitch used to be very derogatory, and now I don't think it is. I think bitch gets used the same way Brits used the word cunt. Now.
Yeah, but it was never like...
It was.
But it was never like a major curse word that like no one could ever say.
I think it used to be. Because you wouldn't... Because it used to be that you wouldn't go. You could not go to the boundary of calling a woman a cunt.
No.
But it was very accepted that you could call a woman a bitch.
Yeah.
But then women were like, yeah, I am a bitch. What are you going to do about it?
Well, because there was no male equivalent.
Like, it became really, like...
There's no... Like,
women took that word back. And now I think, again, younger people and gay people, like...
But, like, what do you want with it?
Bitch has become more of, like, a term of endearment.
Right, it's just so stupid.
I don't know. That's all the time we have for this week. Follow us on social media. If you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe.
Let us know your favorite slang.
Let us know your favorite millennial slang, your favorite Gen Z slang.
Oh, I mean your favorite curse word.
Slang that we don't know. Let us know your favorite curse word. Yeah, please.
Slang we don't know.
Please inform us on slang we should be using.
Yeah, because apparently I'm not supposed to use chuggy, even though I don't think I've ever said that in a sentence.
No, we don't use it. you're just the only person who really knows what it means. And then you tell people that, and everyone, even Gen Zers, are probably like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
I think they're the ones that made it up.
I think it was around for like 0.5 seconds, and it just came on your radar just long enough for you to know what it meant.
I think,
and it was gone.
I think it was also a word that was used like on TikTok and like social media, but it was never really used in...
No. But thank you for joining us. We will see you and talk to you next week. Till then, may you continue to serve cunt and
be
chewy. We love you, and as always, thank you for being a friend.